up everybody, my name is Tamara and thank you for checking out my channel. I'm sorry for the lack of intro and outro. I forgot to press record, but we're going to recreate my New York Fashion Week look and we're going to get started now. So first we're going to take the Milk Blur Stick and it's going to blur just like this camera did, but what it does is it really helps fill in your pores, so therefore it doesn't show up when you put on your foundation. Next, we're going to go ahead and take the LA Pro Girl color corrector, and this is in the color orange because it helps cover up any hyperpigmentation I have. So I'm just applying this throughout the face. Next, we're going to go ahead and blend this out into the skin. I'm using my sponge, but you could use a sponge, a brush, even your fingers depending on how much you put on. And if you need help with learning the makeup tools, check out my very first video where I cover all that. Next, I'm using my MAC Studio Fix Fluid. This is a liquid foundation and I'm applying this with my Expert Face Brush by Real Techniques all over the face. Notice how I'm using small tapping motions, and this is really buffing it into the skin to make it look skin-like. Also, don't worry, I'm going to be posting my updated complexion tutorial very soon, so be on the lookout for that. It's going to be on my Shades Academy playlist. Next, I'm taking my concealer by Fenty Beauty. This is in the shade 345, and I'm applying this strictly underneath my eyes. The reason why this shade is so light is because I have a lot of deepness underneath my eyes, so therefore the brightness actually helps even it out and makes it look natural. Next, we're going to go ahead and buff that out with our sponge. Again, you could use a concealer brush or your fingers, etc., etc. I personally feel comfortable using a sponge. Next, we're using the Studio Fix powder. This is also by MAC, and I'm just applying this all over my face. And the reason why we're doing this is because it helps set in any of the liquid products that we put on the face. And we're going to set everything that we've done thus far with our Morphine Setting Spray. Now I'm going to move over to contour. I'm taking my NYX California Beaming in the color Golden State, I believe. And I'm taking my Kabuki brush and I'm really buffing this onto the cheekbones. The reason why I love the Kabuki brush when it comes to contouring my cheekbones is because it just really helps blend it in and buff that out and makes it look natural, as you can see right now. Next, we're moving over to eyeshadow. I'm taking the color Bintu by the Afrique palette by Juviasplace, and I'm applying this with a large eyeshadow brush strictly into the crease. Now, if you don't have as large of an eyelid space like I do, then you need to use a smaller eyeshadow brush. You could use also a blending brush as well. Now I'm taking my blending brush and I'm simply buffing this out. You see, I'm going to use both circular motions and I will also use at times the windshield wiping motions, but I really love this technique when it comes to buffing eyeshadows out onto the lid, because that's how you really get a very nice blend. If you just kind of plop it on there and don't really blend it out or buff it into your lid or your crease, y'all, I'm getting tongue tied, I'm sorry, I'm like so tired right now. But if you don't focus on really blending that out and buffing that into your lid, it's going to onto your lid, it's going to be a hot mess and everybody's going to notice, especially you. So just go ahead and do yourself that favor. Next, I'm taking the color Magenta, and this is by the Zulu palette, also by Juviasplace. I'm taking that same large eyeshadow brush and I'm focusing strictly on the lid at this time. And you see how I'm just lightly tapping it in? This helps give a better coverage on your eye, and also it makes it easier when it's time to blend it out and combine the two colors together. And then with the same blending brush, we're simply blending that out. Now I'm actually adding a little bit extra eyeshadow onto the brush before applying it strictly onto the lid, but that's because when it's coming time for me to blend them both together, both of the colors together, I really want a nice seamless blend. So you could do the same thing. Now I'm taking the color Purple by the same palette, the Zulu palette by Juviasplace, and I'm applying this strictly into my outer V with my blending brush. So all I'm doing at this time is really focusing on blending the purple out into the crease and putting the look all together. Now I'm taking my Saharan Blush Volume 2 palette by Juviasplace, and I'm using those two colors that I marked off there, and I'm taking my powder brush and I'm applying this strictly on top of the cheekbones. Notice how I'm doing a light tapping motion. Again, the reason why I do this is because I rather apply little by little to help build up that coverage than put on too much and then I have to take the whole makeup application off. But don't be scared to put the blush on for this look. The blush is definitely needed. Now, if you would have watched one of my last few videos, you would have seen that I put on the lashes first and then attempted to apply shadow on my waterline. This time I got smart, y'all. So what I did was I'm doing the waterline first before putting on the lashes. So I'm literally taking the same colors that I used on top of my lid and I'm combining them together and going over it with through my waterline with a detailed brush. I'm also using a mascara. I have to double check, but I really want to say this mascara is by Fenty Beauty, and because I'm black. And child, that mascara is light. So if you don't have it, you better go get it. And I went ahead and did my ombre lips offline, like off camera, and the reason why I did that is because I already did a lip tutorial, so go ahead and check that out through my Shades Academy initiative. But right now I'm taking my Whisper of Guilt. This is by MAC. This is a highlighting powder, and I'm literally highlighting the top of my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, and my Cupid's bow. And I'm just going to go ahead and buff that out with a sponge. The sponge is really key for bringing a look together and really just helping like buff it out and make it look natural. But with that being said, this is the final look. I apologize for not including an intro and outro. Catch the next frame and you will see why. And go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And I really hope that you enjoyed my video, and I will speak to you guys next time. Bye!
Bruh. He needs some milk.